Good to see everybody this morning. Welcome to Meditation and Spiritual Practice. I'm Rabbi K'vod if you're just tuning in, and it's a pleasure to get together every Tuesday morning to be able to have some silence together and focus a little bit on some different aspects of Jewish spiritual practice. So good to see everybody. I want to just begin by just mentioning something from our weekly Parsha, Ki Tisa, our weekly Torah portion, that is really, I would say, one of those core foundational moments in the Torah, right along with the revelation at Sinai or the Exodus from Egypt. This moment here is talking about a deep truth about divine presence, that we can come back to in our daily lives, and we especially focus on during the High Holy Days. And that's the moment when Moses asks God if Moses can see God's face. And God says, no, you can't see my face, but you can see my back. And so Moses is in the cleft of a rock, and he kind of turns his back in the cleft of the rock, and God's presence radiates in through or passes by. And the nature of that presence, as God articulates it, is he says the words Adonai, Adonai, El Rachum v'Chanun, Erech Apayim v'Rav Chesed, v'Emet Notzer Chesed la'alafim, Notzer Avon v'Fesha v'Chata'a v'Nakeh, which is the 13, all of those words are different attributes of compassion: kindness, slow to anger, cleansing of sin, all of those aspects. And God is basically saying to Moses, the deepest truth of who I am is compassion, and this statement here, this piece, then becomes something that the rabbis made a core part of our Yom Kippur liturgy, where many, many times a day, we recite these divine attributes as part of, as we're wanting to tap into this compassionate presence. And not only that, but then throughout the year, whenever we have holidays and we have a Torah service, whether it's Passover or Sukkot or Shavuot, we also, as part of the Torah service in front of the open ark, recite these 13 attributes of compassion. And so what we'll see, and what I would really want to invite you to think about, we'll explore it meditatively today, is that we're not speaking about God as a compassionate presence separate from us. Okay, this is a model of God that I'm encouraging us to think about more metaphorically and literarily, meaning that the way that God is presented in the Torah as a character in a story, a character that is separate from people, is really, as the Rambam or Maimonides taught, is to be meant to be understood metaphorically. We speak in human language, we speak in stories, and so therefore God appears as a character. But when we're really talking about the foundational source of all of life, of every cell, including ourselves, we're not talking about a God out there. We are talking about a reality that is filled with God, that there is no place empty of God. And so when we talk about God's compassionate presence, we're speaking about the presence of compassion in us as an expression of God, of God's radiance. We, each one of us, like everything else in life, is an expression of God's presence. So when we pray for that compassion, or to ask for God's compassion, we're praying for the compassionate presence in us to come to awareness, to be present. And so what we'll notice is that as we meditate, I'm going to be asking us to notice, again, the one that watches, the presence that watches, the witness, the one that is always here. That presence that watches is not a neutral presence, but it is one that is the expression of compassion. Because from that place of witness, there is no judgment. There's space for it all, space for everything, space for breath, space for difficult thoughts, space for whatever. Everything just gets to be beheld and witnessed with that full open heart. We're not coming to the level of judgment. That's something that our mind comes into. This witness, this presence is beyond that. So that's what we're going to practice noticing and touching into. So find a comfortable way to sit, a position that you can be in for a period of time without having to move too much. Feel the length of your spine. And we'll start with a melody. Settle into your body. Allow yourself to notice the movement of breath, paying attention as it enters your nostrils or your mouth, noticing the way the body gently expands to make room for the inhale. Feel the place where the inhale reaches its maximum length and switches over to an exhale. Noticing the body's contraction as the air goes out. And then paying attention to the cycle again as the inhale starts. As you are aware of breath, notice your body in space that expands with each breath and contracts with each breath. Notice the contact between your bottom and the ground, your bottom and the cushion, the distance between the bottom of your spine and the top of your head, the way your arms hang out of your shoulders and the resting place of your hand. As you pay attention to your breath and your body in space, notice the air as it touches your face, all the different little areas of your face, your neck. How your hands are exposed to the air around and what that feels like. And as you're aware of breath and body sensation and the air that surrounds, you can also let into your awareness any of the sounds, noticing the quality of my voice or any of the sounds in your home or outside. Letting yourself be present to all parts of your experience as it were a symphony, a divine symphony. Breath is an instrument in the symphony. Body sensations, shoulders, neck, hands, arms, belly, face are all instruments in the symphony. The sounds around, even the thoughts that arise and fall in our mind, all instruments in the symphony. And let yourself be present to it all, to hear the totality of this moment, of the music of this moment, the expression of life, of God unfolding in this moment. And as you're present to hearing the totality of it all, allow yourself to tune into the energy, the aliveness that fills everything. Breath, body, sound waves, everything vibrant, alive, filled with God. And that includes everything inside you, everything outside you. And then begin to notice your own watching. You experience breath, but you are not the breath. You experience thought, but you are not the thought. You can experience body sensation or sound vibrations, and you are not that. Who are you? Who is perceiving everything in this moment? This is not a question for your mind. It is something to bring your attention into the very nature of awareness itself. Who is watching? Sense that open field of awareness, that open eye that is present for everything. This is an eye that never closes. This is an awareness that never ceases. This awareness, this presence with what is here and now has been with you for your entire life. From birth through every stage, there has been the one who watches, who witnesses the phenomenon of form and experience and the billions and billions of thoughts and sensations. And you can open to the possibility that this ever-present awareness exists beyond you, was present before you were born, is ancient, even beyond time and space. And this presence, this one that watches, will never die, will never stop, will never close its eye of awareness, because it is the very fabric and nature of reality. And be quiet for a period of time. And our kavanah, our intention, is to both stay present with our moment-to-moment experience as if we would with a symphony, being able to be open to the myriad and variety of breath and body and sound and thought, all as an expression of divine presence and energy. And at the same time, we're also aware of the one who listens to the symphony, the one who notices, the one who watches, and that presence also, that compassionate, open presence without limit or border, is also an expression of that divine energy and reality. We're going to close our meditation with a shalom chant. I invite you to sing with me and to really notice and feel the vibration of the ah and the o sound as an expression of wholeness. Shalom. 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 So this concludes our meditation. For those who came late, we're just closing a little bit early today because of another commitment that I have. But I really want to draw your attention to a new temple program that begins. You have the choice of attending this coming Sunday morning, March 7th, or Tuesday evening, March 9th. It's called Pathfinders. And it's really an opportunity to delve deeper and bring greater awareness to how we want to grow Jewishly, how we want to grow in the synagogue. It's been a project that I've been working on for a couple of years now, and you can sign up on the temple website. There's a little square on the front page that will take you to the page that you need. And I hope to see you there either on Sunday or on Tuesday of next week.